Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back. Today, good evening.
Yeah.
Today we are continuing where we stopped last time. We have now entered the town of Quitiba, which is a very special place, close to Tota. So it's also around the Tota Lake, right?
Yes.
So you want to tell us about the name of the place?
Yeah, we always want to clarify what is the information behind the names. So last time we were finishing that the shape of the lake for the people there looks like a old man with a big beard holding a staff, like kind of flying guy. So that is why we wanted to talk about Quitiba, because this place is related with that. So Quitiba means that the place of the wife of the leader of the community, or the place where the wife lives. So it was a feminine, female, energetic place. So when we go into the town, we were gonna find two big statues. One of is from Bochica, and another one is from Bachue. Bachue is the goddess. And Bochica is this representation of this guy we are going to talk about, because in Quitiba, in this place, we have a big monument about Bochica. According to like the the tradition, Bochica visited this place before he disappeared. So he was traveling around many places, and it was the last place. But who was Bochica? What is that? So Bochica, in some representation, is a human being, but in another is a symbologic way to express the awareness of knowledge or getting access to something deeper. So the story goes like there is a very foreign person, looks like you, white, with blonde hair, tall,
White beard.
beard, long beard, strong, looks like someone from the north of Europe, a Viking or something, Viking. And he was riding an animal that they never saw before, and he also hold that staff.
So it's this legend from ancient times, right?
Yeah, so this guy
Way
appeared.
before. Yeah.
And it's supposed that he brought all the information and the laws and understanding of how to understand life, and brought knowledge, spirituality, and many technology, how to live and how to even plant or how understand many social things. So he was a messenger of kind of civilized ideas at that time. But some of the representation is not a physical person, but a kind of energy that came and brought that, something that make wake up people. So maybe it could be a legend or an idea how to represent something that happened, or actually a being or a person or a human figure that who really did that. That is very possible, because when we were in the museum in Sogamoso, we saw that there is a very interesting description about Bochica. And they were describing that this phenomenon was not unique here. They say in Central America, in the Mayan civilization, they have something similar. A messenger that came from the water and brought similar situations. The Azteca culture, the Peruvian, the Inca culture, like in different communities in Nabya Yala, they have similar story. Someone who came from different or far away places.
Who looked different. Who looked different, right? Different, yeah, who was not part of the local ethnicity, but who looked different and.
Yeah, totally. That was one of the things that in all the stories were the same. Even in some stories, they have the same like the same information that they came from the sea. They came overseas from somewhere.
You know what that reminds me of? The sea. They came from the sea. So I know some interpret it as those persons, Buchika, that they were extraterrestrial. And the sea, the space is also described as ocean-like. So it just reminds me of that.
Yeah, because could be, and here in somehow can be connected with different history of the planet,
Different timelines.
different
Also.
timelines, and
Yeah.
different human state or even not human organizations or civilizations that were inhabiting the earth in somehow like they're very connected because they are very similar situation, and the way that they describe them and the information that they brought and all of that, like people who had too much knowledge that at that time was difficult to have, and technology and things. So, and all of them has similar mission. I mean, that was the mission of those guys. Bochica in Central America is known as Quetzalcoatl. Like if people understand this Quetzalcoatl figure, that is the fusion between the snake and the Quetzal is a bird, but this is like the representation of this being. So in Peru also they have similar stories. So Bochica is that version, but in Colombia. So is very interesting because it is attaching to that possible mm, option of evolution or the Earth story.
Yeah, and it is connected to Cuitiva, which is also by the Tota Lake. Is a strong connection with Bochica. So there's a statue of Bochica. It is the most incredible little town. So we went there on my birthday.
It was her birthday and was a very simple, tranquil, very quiet moment of your birthday, but was lovely and like very special.
When you first started, I remember when we were driving on the bus to from Sogamoso to Tota, we were passing through Cuitiva. And he was telling me about Bochica for the first time and the legend and this guy that brought all of this knowledge of how to organize life to the people, local people here, and da-da. And I remember we were sitting on the bus and it was like moving me very, very deeply. Like it immediately touched something, like awakening something inside of me, like a memory, a remembering. And my heart started like going like this, and I started having all of these images flooding my mind really, really fast, too fast, like a movie, but fast forward, and with a lot of information in it. Almost like some energy was trying to make me remember something when he was telling me about it. And it was a bit too much, so I was like sort of blocking it out, which was good because it was too much. But then we returned on my birthday. And first of all, it's the most magical little town. Also has this very old church from like 500 years ago, which is sort of a sad reminder of the colonization, but is also like fascinating to look at. Like so old and still being used, and the doors are crooked, but everything is still working and incredible.
And this town also is like in the slope of the mountain, right?
Yeah, on the slope towards the mountain that is in front of the lake. Yeah.
So we always have a very beautiful view in front of us because we are just standing on the mountain looking off the valley.
Yeah, looking across the valley onto this mountain, these two hills that look like a sleeping woman.
Yeah. Actually, it was clear shape.
Yeah.
Of a
like
woman.
A woman lying on her side.
Yeah. Or in from another perspective, could be like the woman face too, but it was like more like the shape, which is confirming that the female energy of that place. So yeah, how was your birthday? Because you were like receiving all of this at that moment.
And that is what hit me. Like we started walking through the town, and this energy, like we were walking up, in these little fields and the eucalyptus trees, and this energy started hitting me, like in a positive sense. I was like, this place is. It was so much energy suddenly going through my body, and I just felt like tingles and electricity and like colors, like so many colors, but like pink and purple, and but also this feeling of deep love but paired with a sense of absolute wildness, like nature wild, but love, but and like the most strange sensations. And I was just like completely captured by it, and trying to figure out what's going on here. What's going on? There must be a spot here somewhere where there's a stone or something that irradiates something really, really strongly. Because, yeah, that whole place, the whole town, is built on top of something and is radiating this very strong energy. And is female energy. So it's for me no coincidence that is the name of the place, which is the wife of the leader of the community. Then the mountain that looks like a woman. And then, of course, the story about Bochica, that was one of the last places he visited.
Yeah, because you mentioned about stone, and it's supposed that was somewhere there, that there is a stone where he put his footprint before he vanished in somehow, and it's supposed that he really make, I don't know, he infused or put the food and make the stone. What is the name for that? Like when it's so hot that it melted, so the shape of the feet was that. So it's supposed that the stone is real and is in somewhere there. But man, you're talking about stone. Maybe they were on that stone possibly too. But that's interesting because yes, there is one monument about that stone, so we could see like the Bochica's food. But it was as a representation. But it's supposed that it exists. I mean, people walk to the Paramos area, which is like this high plateau ecosystem.
High plateau ecosystem.
Plateau ecosystem, and it's supposed the stone is somewhere there.
Well, we definitely have to go back and find it.
Yeah, we have to find it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that made me realize lots, like some things, because as we were, that town Curitiba is close to where we were staying with his parents on the farm, right? So we were visiting it a couple of times, and I started realizing that every time we were there were these images going through my mind, and at some point but already on my birthday when we were there, I saw this, like this place is radiating. It's like transmitting into the world, and not just locally, not just Birjala, but across the world somehow. I don't know how yet, but somehow. And I was like getting these impressions of it's gonna be important in future also, because with this transmission, like it's really, it's like a cell phone tower. It was really transmitting this energy that I was feeling there, and I'm not sure yet what all of it means, but is something really positive and is something really powerful, and that gave me many ideas and also images of what could potentially happen there in the future. Like is really an important place, I think. Yeah, special.
Yeah, it's difficult to describe. Always that I remember that I pass by bus for this little town. Always there is kind of fascination that we just like. It's a kind of enchanted place because it's very small. The bus passes very quick,
Tiny.
but we just like get some fascination for that little place. And then we discovered that it wasn't just a town, because the area that also is the limit is the lake is one of the best vegetation preserve. They are trying to plant the native trees, and they recover the original nature around the lake. So they have made a beautiful work, like keeping alive more nature around. So I remember that you could feel that if you have a place to have the garden in a house, could be around in that area, not necessarily in the town, but in the rural area about that.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm going to get a place here, a little hut in a field, it will be in Curitiba. Yeah.
And then you had the opportunity to walk to the rural area in Curitiba like twice. by food. So also I remember that once we went together and also was very interesting walk. But once you went alone. So how was that? What did you experience when you went with your walk, recognizing this place?
I connected very strongly with that consciousness, that Bochika consciousness, maybe we can call it, that memory, that awareness, or that knowledge. So I got some information on that. Yeah, I don't know how much I should say about that, to be honest. Maybe at some point I will share more. But yeah. Um, for me, there were two very powerful moments, and one was when we went to watch the sunset on top of that hill behind Curitiba.
Yeah, was Curitiba, but in rural area actually. So we were still in Curitiba. That point, you have to talk about that.
Yeah.
That was like something difficult, like to describe for me. I was shaking literally.
Yeah, you were shaking. So that was oh my goodness. So that was also quite exciting. We were on the lake side of the hill and looking for this nature preserve where they were planting these native trees or trying to regenerate. And we were looking for this path up the hill, but we couldn't really find it. So we were just going through the clambering up through all of these plants, these paramo ecosystem plants that are very sharp, have these sharp thorns, and it was very steep, and we're trying to get up there and scratching ourselves.
Really adventurous.
Slowly getting dark, and
Yeah.
but we were like, we're going to conquer this hill. We're not going back.
And we did it afterwards.
It was quite adventurous.
Yes.
And then we arrived at the top, just in time for sunset.
Incredible.
Oh my goodness. With that energy of the place. And then on top of the hill, you feel like you're sitting inside of the stars, inside of the sky, like literally. And then these colors and the clouds, the shapes, the indigo color, the pink, the violet. You felt like you were inside of a galaxy.
Yeah, I felt that. I mean, like I said, like we watch up to the sky, and it was like transported immediately. And then I just look back, and still like here getting dark, and here like changing the colors. So it's like transporting between the earth and the sky all the time. But it was incredibly, it was so fascinating. I was just hypnotized for that moment. So it like trapped me all the time. My body was on the mountain, but my mind was there, flying like so deeply that when we were realizing that it was too late and we had to stand up and go, my mind was still there and my body was like so weak that couldn't like really react. But it was my stomach was inside of my stomach was a kind of storm moving all that energy. It was incredibly beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, you were shaking.
Yeah.
That's.
I couldn't move like quickly. I have to wait a little bit and then like recover my presence, my body, and then I could move.
Yeah. Moments like that they're life changing. I find them life changing.
Yeah.
And I think, isn't that the purpose of that place? Also, I think that reminds me of the energy I was perceiving in this this pulse that it is transmitting. And maybe it's exactly this true, like this return to this very, very powerful connection to nature. You feel the whole cosmos in that spot. And I think that's what it's transmitting.
Yeah. So Curitiba brought that experience because we was in Curitiba mountain in the top and we could watch everything, like the lake, the mountains, the sky was like the planetarium, like this telescope. Like yeah, you just feel like you can touch it. I mean, we traveled with the mind, like it was incredible. And then yes, it get dark, and then we had literally like going under the dark.
Slide through the slide down the mountain, the hillside, slide the
Totally
across the
dark.
grass and the earth and the thorny plants scratching us. But the moon, and then the moon came
Wow.
out.
It was like for I don't know how many minutes. It was totally
It was
dark,
just here,
and then the moon appeared just when you switch on a light.
and it was like
Incredible. It saves the night and give us the light that we need to find the way out.
and it was like you literally felt like you were taking a bath in moonlight. You felt it like it yeah, you could feel it like a shower. Yeah.
Yes, that night, yeah. So Curitiba is full of this energy, like incredible. Is very, yeah, it's super significant. But it wasn't we always have to go through Curitiba. So when we go out or into Tota, we pass to Curitiba. So you also got a very special moment in Curitiba and with the moon and all of this energy. Very short but very powerful. But it wasn't until you went to another place. So we're gonna return to Curitiba later because you came from another place with different impressions and then Curitiba give you something. So maybe you can introduce a little bit. What is the place that you went after Curitiba? And yeah, and why is that important? And what is that is the next topic, I guess.
Yeah. I went to Duitama, which is another special place actually. With a nice archetypal story history behind it, representing an archetype that we all are very familiar with, of the brave warrior who doesn't give up and who inspires others to keep going and fight.
Yeah. We have the local hero.
Yeah, the local hero. And when we came back, we were driving through Curitiba again at night, and it was again this moon, this strong moon light, and the stars, and driving through the town, and all of these images appearing again, and but this time much clearer and stronger, and it was connected to the nature. To it was like I was looking back into ancient history, but almost like so long ago that I can't even put a number on it, and just connecting images from different times, and then ending with this voice or this awareness of this presence that was suddenly there, which for me was, oh, that's Bochica. That energy is here now, and it was this. There was so much love and this longing. There was this sense of longing that came over me, of this person or this consciousness that had existed here at some point, that was really trying to help the people remember and return to the way we were meant to live in not in harmony, because back then they were already doing that. They were living in harmony with nature, but in a certain in this longing there was this feeling of this voice saying, basically, I was trying to help the people remember their power. I was trying to help to wake up their minds fully, because they were already connected with nature, but they needed to remember their power, so as to guide and direct life on Earth more purposefully. And because, as I always say, we used to be able to create worlds with our mind. We are very powerful beings. Our minds, our thoughts are very powerful. So it seems like that person or that consciousness that was in this legend, in Curitiba, as the legend says, or the story says, trying to teach the people a way of organizing life. It seems that it was trying to do that, to help them not just feel the earth and instinctively live with it, but to consciously direct life more with the mind, also use that power again, which is very much connected to this is a topic very close to my heart and my mission also, to connect, as I say, always the crown with the root, to make that connection, which really, yeah, I think it will heal many things. It is healing many things. We have, and that is part of why I'm here also, because in Abya Jala, to connect with the root, and with to connect the root with this, that many of us have access to information of the cosmos about many things, but it needs to be connected with the root, with the rhythm of nature, with daily life, the simple, the practical. That is the root. And then the remembrance, of course, knowing where we come from, origins, remembering our origins, but also our ancestors, but not just remembering them, feeling them in the body, and feeling the body again. And so that's my theme. And I had a very powerful moment when we were driving through Quitiva, connecting with this being and understanding that my mission and their mission are connected. And I found within myself a part of them, or him, or it. And getting lots of images and things, and yeah.
Yes. Wow, interesting.
But
Because you are
so,
finding the continuation of that.
Also the emotions, I was like, it was like for a moment I was this person long ago, in that area that really loved this land. I'm just gonna say he really loved that land. And also when I was walking, like you were asking me, the other time I was walking through the fields by Quitiva, that also came to me, like this remembering of or the connecting with this person, or this being, let's say being, who was sort of telling me, this is where I used to walk also sometimes. And I loved this place specifically. I loved it very much. I was like, whoa, yeah. Where did that come from? Okay. Amazing. And then I enjoyed for a moment, like being in someone else's shoes from very long ago, but on the same land, my feet walking the same path or similar path as he used to walk. And I was like, wow. And I was flooded with all of this. Like for a moment, I was a different person, which was incredible. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I remember that I was just waiting under the tree in another part of the mountain, and you arrived with that impression, like, oh, I just was retaking the steps. I was following the footprints of Pochica. I said, wow. Yeah. And like, can you imagine like personifying someone that who really like even look likes to you, like similar, but like common ancestors, right? Very interesting. Wow, fascinating. Like that experience that you had there.
And it's on when we were driving through it at night, that one night coming back from Duitama, and I told him we were driving through Quitiva, I told him to stop, because the images and the information coming to me was so strong, and I was so emotional, because it was, once again, in that moment also, like I was inside of this being's life, way back when, I don't know when, but long time ago. Sorry. Need some water?
Here is your water.
Thank you.
Yeah, but so between these two meetings of the Quitiva town, you also, like, Boyaca is full of places with this energy, right? So people have been identified in those places and trying to settle there and organize things, starting projects and creating new ways of life and buildings and everything. So you had the opportunity to you got the invitation to visit one of those places and share a couple of days there. So, like, because it was between with Quitiva's experience to fill that gap that we have, because also it's a very different experience that you got there. Yeah. but with a lot of interesting things, more connection, even though it was quite different, but with a lot of connections too. Maybe we're gonna continue to next time to talk about this interesting place.
So Duitama is that place.
Yeah.
Duitama is next for next time.
Yeah. So if you want to know what happened between these two experiences in Curitiba, next time we're gonna share because I didn't go. I was not there. So I also want to know everything about that. I want to know because I haven't been there before. Also, I got the invitation as well, but I didn't go. So it's actually something that I really want to listen to and to know what exactly happened there. So I'm very looking forward for the next chapter.
And here I'm gonna add in, if anyone is interested in hearing more about the information I got from connecting with Bochica, let us know, and we will do an episode on that, maybe a short one, where I will just tell about the things I saw that night, or those 2 times specifically, or those 3 times we were there. I could go into more detail about that. I know it's not interesting for everyone, but maybe more for the people who are more into the esoteric information and extraterrestrial and whatnot. And I was connecting lots
Something
of things.
names like Atlantic World and
Yeah, Atlantean topic, yeah, themes.
so it's very interesting. Like if someone else want really to go deeper on this, it will gonna bring into all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let us know if you're interested.
yeah. Thank you very much this time also for joining us, and we hope you accompany us next time in going to Duitama.
Tuntama.
Duntama. Yeah, exactly. That is Duntama. Okay.
The hero. Until next time.